isn't it much more important to be beneficial to many than to just one? But generally are concerned because we experience pain through our bodies. We experience pain through our fear, through our emotions, through our anxieties. We experience concerns through our hunger, whatever it is, that our own concern often turns inward. And that's a very small way of thinking. So when we turn outward and we think, wow, there's so many beings who also are just like me, who want happiness, who want kindness, who are very good, who are living to be the best beings that they can be, then we feel much more confident that our practice is beneficial not just to self but to many, many, many beyond ourself. And as the Buddha looked at his wisdom, he said, in actuality, the way things appear is not the way things are. There are so many things that go into making us who we are. We're not just an isolated individual. We are deeply dependent on so many other beings for our very happiness, even for our very life. And so the merits of thinking of the happiness of others, it's not just like being a good person and having some happy, kind thoughts. It's in actuality true that we are connected as one humanity, as one beyond humanity, one life to this very planet. Our own bodies don't create the oxygen that we breathe. We need oxygen from the green, from the trees, from the plants. We need water. There's a set amount of water on this planet. Most of our body, maybe more than 90%, is made of water. And the water's coming down, we're drinking it, we're letting it out, it's going back into the atmosphere. The water is constantly being shared and recycled. And so even though our very nature of our bodies being full of water, it's not staying still. The air's not staying still. We're breathing in and breathing out. And so we can see very quickly, very deeply, how intimately our life is connected to all of the other life forms on this planet, this precious, beautiful planet that we share with countless lives. And so the Buddha said, yes, this is actually the way it is. When he was meditating in the sutra called the Heart Sutra, he was meditating on what he called the countless aspects of phenomena, the countless aspects, meaning what we see. First of all, the way we see the world is not the way the world exists. And what do I mean by that? Well, we know that through physics and through quantum physics and through looking through microscopes these days, that we can actually see the world exists in a very different way, looking at it through a microscope than the way it appears looking at it through our naked eye. And so the Buddha said, look, we have to be looking very deeply into our own experience, and then we can look into very deeply to the experience of others and see that we're very deeply interconnected, that we need each other, and that by cultivating these kindness of heart, kindness of speech, and kindness of mind, we're able to benefit oneself and able to deeply go into a nice sense of confidence in our practice, confidence that we can actually be beneficial to all forms of living creatures. And by doing that, our own life is enhanced. So let's just take a few more minutes now. And I want you to just think really strongly now. Let's bring to mind one quality that you really would like to focus on. So there are, in Mahayana Buddhism, there are what are called the 6 perfections. And there are 6 qualities that we can think of: generosity, ethics, patience, effort, joyful diligence, so making good effort at whatever it is we're doing, concentration, and wisdom. So we're going to begin this meditation by just bringing a quality to mind. Which one is going to be the best? Maybe ask this question just now: what would be most beneficial in my practice, in my life? And just let whatever quality arises, be the one that you're going to meditate on. Is it generosity? Is it ethics? Is it patience? Is it effort? Is it concentration? Or is it wisdom? Just see what comes to mind. What will be most beneficial just now to practice? And just trust what comes into your mind as being the quality that you are going to practice with. And to begin the meditation, we're going to just do some shamatha, which means calm, abiding, just breathing in and breathing out. Just doing a breath meditation so that as you breathe in, you're breathing in, aware of breathing in, and breathing out, aware of breathing out. And after the out breath, just resting and then watching the breath come when it's ready. You don't have to do anything. Just keep your awareness with the breath. And let the breath come deeply into the whole body. So you want to be breathing from your abdomen, about 4 fingers below the belly button. And when you start the breath, that's the space that fills up first with air. As you breathe in through the nose, the body fills up with air. And as you exhale, the body sinks and relaxes. And the tip of the tongue is resting on the roof of the mouth behind the teeth, just softly. Let the whole body be very gentle, spacious, open. And just enjoy the breath. Let your heart open and feel deeply grateful for the breath, deeply alive. And now bring the quality to mind. Now that we've had some calm abiding, bring the quality that came to your mind. And whatever that quality is, just bring it into a little bit of an analytical meditation now. So, with the six wisdoms, with the six perfections, we can use wisdom to analyze each of the five. We could say, we can see the wisdom of having generosity, practicing generosity by wanting to give all beings happiness and its causes, by wanting all beings to be free of suffering and its causes, by wanting all beings to be established in joy and its causes. That kind of a generosity of the heart is full of wisdom. If all beings were living only with happiness, compassion, and joy, imagine the kind of world and environment we would all be living in. It would be like a pure land, full of mutual concern, full of mutual caring, full of health, full of wonder. So, if generosity is what came to your mind, you can see the wisdom of practicing generosity by being giving, by focusing more on giving out to others, being more concerned with their happiness, their joy, giving them compassion. In Buddhism, in Tibet, in Vajrayana Buddhism, this doesn't really mean giving like in the West, like giving money or giving resources. It means much more giving from the spirit of a generous heart, being willing to give, being willing to give your attention, to listen. So it's much more about a frame of mind that's a generous frame of mind than it is about giving material. Of course, giving material gifts is also wonderful and can be helpful. But the Buddha was much more in the spirit of giving from a sense of cultivating a heart and mind that is very generous in every situation and giving equally, not discriminating people based on friend or enemy or stranger, or discriminating based on nationality or religion or politics or gender, nothing like that. He was talking about giving through a very pure wish in the heart to be of benefit to all beings. He said, this is the highest gift. And maybe ethics or morality came to mind. We also need the perfection of pure morality, of pure ethics. And in this sense, wisdom shows us that by living with very pure body, so not harming, not stealing, not engaging in deceitful sexual activities, that people come to be able to trust us. They feel safe with us. They know that our body is not a threat to them. They know that we're not using our body to only benefit ourselves without concern and care for others. We're using our body to respect that others have material properties that we won't take from them, we won't steal from them, that we won't harm them in any way, that we won't engage in any sexual misconduct which would harm their body or harm their spirit or heart. And when we use morality to guard our speech, others can find that we have very trustworthy, truthful speech. We're not engaged in gossip. We're not using harsh, negative words with anger, with full of judgment, full of criticism. We're not using divisive speech to set people against each other. whether it's within our family members or in relationships or in politics or in nationalities or setting men against women or boys against girls, nothing like that. It's actually talking more about the importance of using unified speech, seeing the wonderful qualities of how speech can be bringing happiness to others. As someone was mentioning, saying thank you even to our caregivers, saying kind words to people at the grocery store, sharing positive attributes of speech that let people feel seen and acknowledged and appreciated and not divided against one another. And then, of course, not telling any kind of lies is very important. Not in our vows. If we're practicing Buddhism, we should be saying our vows with a genuine heart and holding our vows in the morning and the evening, so that we're not saying that we're practicing Buddhism, but we're not actually saying our prayers and saying our vows. We need to be holding up our end of the deal. So then speaking truthfully to others as well is very important always. And people can come to know that we are true to our word. We follow through. And then the morality of our mind. So we don't want to have an envious, jealous, greedy mind. We want to be able to rejoice in the virtues of others and the happiness of others and the qualities of others. We don't want to feel envious of those. We want to see how wonderful that so many beings have so many wonderful good qualities and kind hearts, and that we feel happy about that, not jealous or envious. Or maybe others have more material resources or goods, and they are doing things, whatever they're doing, to enjoy those material resources and goods. We don't have to feel envious and jealous. We can think maybe they really, created the right causes and conditions to bring all those good qualities into their lives. They had intelligence, they had effort, and this lifetime they're enjoying benefits from having made good effort at developing their intelligence and doing beneficial activities. And we want to also think about positive frames of mind and staying away from harmful frames of mind. So not wishing others ill, not thinking that some people are deserving to be punished and harmed and judged. We should only and always wish others well. And even when others do things based on their own ignorance, attachment, and aversion, we should feel humbled because we ourselves also do those things. So we're not here to judge others, but to improve upon our own activities by guarding our own mind. And then the third quality of the mind of ethics is to hold right views, which means seeing that we're very interrelated with all of life and using every opportunity to continue to cultivate the positive qualities, seeing interdependence, the empty nature of life, the primordial purity of life, and that we don't have forever to live life, so not taking life for granted, that we're using our life wisely and skillfully by holding the right views and not holding wrong views. Maybe patience came to your mind. You can see that we need patience to practice generosity, to practice ethics, to practice wisdom. Actually, patience, in one of the sutra teachings, patience is called the finest armor. It protects us in every circumstance. There's no time patience will ever fail us. It doesn't mean to be looking the other way. If we see something's going on and we know something needs to be said, we can be direct, we can be full of wisdom and clarity and kindness and non-judgment, and we can call something out, but we should be patient with the situation, not judging the person, but seeing how to transform a situation by constantly coming back to make efforts to help people learn better ways to approach living with compassion, living with kindness, living with wisdom. The same way a mother would be patient with her child who's learning right from wrong. Sometimes a child's going to make mistakes, but as long as a child keeps trying, that's the main thing. And we have to be patient with our own practice. We have our own reasons to have to continue to come back to our practice with loving kindness, with compassion and non-judgment, and with patience to see that we've made good progress, but that we still have ways to go. Maybe effort came to mind, that we need more effort in our practice. Or we can also, Buddha also called it joyful diligence, making effort day by day, little by little, with joy that we even have a practice, we have a path, and we have the opportunities to be making even a little bit of progress, little step by step. As my teacher used to say, every great journey, although it's a long one, the Buddha said 3 countless eons to attain Buddhahood. We won't get there if we don't make effort. So every day, every time we make a little bit of a new effort, step by step, we can rejoice. We can say, wonderful, I just did something different now. It's helping my practice. I'm more mindful of what I am practicing. More mindful of making the effort, keeping the vows, living in the vows, not wasting any time, using every situation. Wonderful. That's making effort. Some effort could be really intense and big, like making prostrations or saying many mantras. Maybe you don't feel like your body can make prostrations, but we can always say mantras. We can say many rounds of our mala mantras. We can say in the morning 108 green Tara mantras for everyone suffering from the COVID. We can say Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha, 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 Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. You can say your mantras anytime, but starting tonight before bed, you can say, okay, I'm also going to try to say 1 mala of mantras before I go to bed. Or even starting off with saying 21 and then building up the number. The more you say, the easier they get. And then dedicating. His Holiness the Dalai Lama said, especially now during COVID, very good to dedicate Tara mantras for the healing of everyone who's affected. And we know now in India, it's very, very extreme. So we can especially think about dedicating to India and Nepal, where Nepal is also undergoing very extreme hardships because of COVID. That is what those meant by creating merits. The Buddha is talking about, what can we do just practically that helps us think about others and give away our concern and all of our genuine compassion and loving kindness to others. This is making effort. We might have thought concentration came to mind, that we need more single-pointed concentration. So when we're practicing meditation, breathing in, breathing out, or when we're doing our walking, when we get up, that we just put our mind that when we're moving our body, we become more aware of being embodied, of moving and walking, looking on the ground, making sure we're not stepping on any little ants. Today I was walking outside around the stupa here, and one of the young nuns said, oh, careful, careful, Genna. And I said, what? She said, look, there are little ants down there. I put a leaf down so that no one will step on them. And I said, well, darling, all I see is the leaf now. I can't see the ants, they're covered. We didn't step on the ants as far as we know. But the main point is making the intention to take care of other life by concentrating, by single-pointedly becoming aware of the other life forms around us. You all really can start with the people in your surroundings, but yes, we can bring the awareness, as the lovely nuns do here, down to the insects even. You can bring the awareness to the animals, to the birds, to the cats and the dogs, but especially to the other people that you're living with. Single-pointed concentration also means just taking care of your own frame of mind, keeping loving kindness, keeping compassion, keeping patience, breathing in, breathing out, being a loving, open-hearted presence for all those who are in your immediate surrounding. That's why breathing in and breathing out, the shamatha concentration meditations, the basic one, the Buddha really taught breath meditation. We have breath with us all the time. So we can always come back to our breath. Whether things are going well, whether things are neutral, whether we're a little fearful or feeling a little judgmental or some anger is coming, a little getting heated up, just come back to the breath, breathing in, breathing out. Single pointed concentration. And it feels nice. With the breath of concentration, you can see the wisdom there, how wisdom and concentration are very tied in. So then, as soon as we go back to breath concentration, immediately patience will come. Immediately, by doing that, we're making effort. By using concentration through wisdom, through effort and patience, we're practicing good morality. And by practicing good morality, we're giving. We're going into that practice of perfecting giving, meaning we're taking care and attending to our own responsibility. We can only change one being in this whole world. It's not any being out there, it's just this one. But as Siddhartha found out, by changing his mindset from being Siddhartha, the prince of the Shakya clan, to practicing the yoga and the perfections all the way up to Buddhahood, he changed one being. But by changing that one being, he changed infinite beings, infinite world systems, by showing a path all the way up to Buddhahood, out of suffering, attaining enlightenment, developing all the positive qualities. He said, actually, everything that lives, true nature, is Buddha nature. It is not anything other than Buddha nature, but we've just forgotten that. He said our true nature is perfection. It is primordial purity. It is pure awareness, free of any kind of poisons of ignorance, attachment, or hatred. So we have to reconnect, we have to rediscover that nature, and then bring that and all those qualities out through our own body, speech, and mind. This is why we practice the shamatha. This is why we practice the 6 perfections. And they all work together very, very beautifully, united, totally united, to come into the qualities that bring us step by step closer to awakening to our true Buddha nature. So if even the Buddha said, even insects, even a fly has Buddha nature, then how much closer are we, for having gained a precious human existence, to be able to discover our Buddha nature? Because while an ant or a fly or a cat or a dog or even a great whale or dolphins or birds have Buddha nature, the difference between them and human beings is that our awareness, our consciousness, can actually recognize this nature. We can become aware of it in ways that we don't know if other life forms can. The Buddha actually said, no, they cannot, but human beings, we can. So we take the Buddha's word on that, that he could see into their mind streams, that they don't have a consciousness that's able to really deeply reflect on who's watching. But the Buddha said the human beings can ask this question. When we say, yes, we all have Buddha nature, then Buddha means to be awakened. And when we practice our meditation, when you're listening right now, you're listening with your awareness, with your consciousness, with your mind. That is the aspect of your Buddha nature. It's that can recognize, that which can become aware of being aware. We have to become aware of being aware. That's the difference. Like some of you have animals, dogs or cats. They have awareness. They're aware. When they're hungry, they say meow, 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 meaning feed me, feed me. That's their way. But beyond that, we're not aware if they're aware of their thoughts or aware of being deeply aware of the planet that they're on. They're not able even to be aware enough to be able to communicate with us. But human beings are very aware. We're exploring our environment. Even we can speak different languages. We can communicate with each other, our shared experience, even from different ways of using sound and language. We can investigate scientifically together aspects of our reality, and then we can agree on what we find, or we can dispute and disprove it in ways that are much higher, complex ways of understanding our existence. And this is what the Buddha said is part of the beauty of being a human being, is we actually not only can discover the outer environment and those qualities, we can come to see that through our inner awareness, we can touch upon our Buddha nature. And this is why we practice. And this is the great opportunity in a human rebirth, in a human life form, to be able to purify our mind streams all the way up to Buddhahood, to be able to understand that the true nature is pure primordially, meaning its essence, its own nature could never be anything but pure, but we forget it because we've layered over bad habits. We've layered over forgetfulness of the importance of living with those 6 perfections. Maybe we've never even heard of those 6 perfections. So, this is our opportunity in this lifetime to start to develop them so that we can go all the way up to Buddhahood, to touch on our Buddha nature, and then to develop those qualities endlessly for the benefit of beings, to bring beings out of the suffering of the confusion of ignorance, the confusion of selfish desire, the confusion of hatred and aversion. Because if we look at our planet right now, we can see what that confusion is doing. It's creating a lot of suffering, a lot of hardship that it doesn't need to be that way. It really doesn't need to be that way. We can transform, we can change. And if one could do it, then everyone can do it. But we need to bring the causes and conditions together. This is why we have the Dharma, the teaching of the Buddha. And this is why we have practices like meditation, contemplation, study. These things all help bring about these wonderful aspects that help us not only improve our own life, but also the lives around us, and then eventually all of the lives, all the way up to transforming the entire world. So let's leave a few minutes now. Maybe there's some questions. We have a few minutes. We can have question and answer. But please think of the quality that came to your mind that you should make for the practice, maybe for the next month. We do this main mindfulness, this main moment meditation together, or at least in your case for the next week, if you think of that quality, that how you can bring it into your practice with more intention to really perfect it, how it's working from your day to day through your body, through your speech, and through your mind. Can we have any questions? Does anyone have any thoughts or any questions that you'd like to share that came up for you?
I have a question.
Okay,
Um,
sure.
So for me, it was the question of ethics that pops up today. I have a really potty mouth, and I think it's a part of ethics to not cuss. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right, Dillis. That's right. Not a potty mouth. I love how you say it like that. That's a good way to say
Well,
it. We got to bring really, we got to bring humor to what we need to change. That's a great way to approach it, so that you can look at it and you're just like, yeah, I mean, I've got it, I'm owning it, and I got to change it.
that it's something. It's just a really bad
Yes.
habit that I started when I was probably 19 or 20 years old. I thought it was cool, but as I grow more, sometimes it just slips up because it's a habit and it's not considered. Well, I don't want to blame my environment because I'm still around people that cuss like I do. That's why I'm doing it. But it's really bad. It's really immature for me to do it. Because sometimes I have things I want to express and it's not good to slip up. So that causes me to actually not want to speak a lot. Yeah.
That's great, Dillis. You have such great awareness, and I love that you're just right on. That's your practice, And speech, the Buddha said speech out of all of our qualities is one of the most, he said out of his own teachings, the speech was the most important quality, because there are three of the body. There's not killing, not stealing, and not engaging in sexual misconduct, and 3 of the mind, and not being envious, not having harmful thoughts, and not having wrong views. But there are 4 of speech, because speech is vibration. And like you said, if you're around people with vibratory energy, with their speech being very negative, very like potty mouth, and it's not even just potty mouth, it's just ignorance, right? Because there's so many other ways we can even express. Even if you need to say something with the potty mouth vernacular, you can think. One thing I would say is I would like you to think of your 5 biggest cusses and then just go to the dictionary and find better words to use. Just find better, bigger words that can express those 5 cusses and start using those, and use them with the people you're with. Just boom, drop the mic, say it, and make them say to you, what did you just say? Get their attention and go, yeah, y'all, I'm working with my potty mouth. I'm not dealing with this anymore. Like make a little bit fun, but we want to change it, right? We want to change it because we don't want that kind of environment anymore. We already saw, especially in the United States, the dangers of bad speech, of untruthful speech, of negative speech. Just 4 years of it you had, and it's not going to be nice to continue with that and to keep that habit going. So let's change our own habits. We can't change others, but we can playfully be a force for change, a force for the good, as Dharma calls it, by just doing something unexpected and then letting people know that we're doing that. And that helps you change your habit. And you can laugh about it as you're doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Having the bad habit of a potty mouth really killed my vocabulary. It's not that I don't have better vocabulary. It's just that a lot of times I got into the habit of being so lazy. Plus, I guess depending on the social group that I'm talking to, if I use those words that I can replace from, say, the dictionary, sometimes it could possibly make myself feel, or it could make the other person feel dumb, and I don't want to. So it's kind of like a fine line for me to walk. Like, if I'm with this group, I need to talk like this. If I'm with that group, I need to talk like that. I don't know. But
darling, just pick easy ones. Just pick easy ones, though. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's choppy, but I can still hear you.
Yeah, just pick easy words. Like, instead of the F word, just say fudge. You don't have to pick big words. Just pick really easy words that are, people understand what you would have otherwise said, but you just say fudge, or you just say ship instead of the other one, ship. Just change it a little bit. I mean, that's the best way to go about it. You don't have to pick a whole new, bigger vocabulary than ways that you wouldn't normally speak, but just pick small, be creative with it. You could do it. You'll enjoy it, I promise you. You will. Just pick a few.
I will. That's better.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you work with that. I'm going to look forward to hearing how that's going to play out for you, because it's going to be good. Anyone else want to share anything? Thank you, Dils. That's very good. Yeah, just pick one or two like that you can start to transform. We just start small. So those two I would recommend, fudge and ship. And you have to articulate. But it does make a difference. I can tell you, because Vajrayana Buddhism is also called Mantrayana, that's why we use a lot of mantras. So you say a lot of Tara to help change your speech. You say a lot of Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha, Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. You say these other pure sounds, these beautiful Sanskrit sounds, Tibetan sounds, so that beautiful sacred speech will override the habit. And you won't have to try that hard. Tara is amazing. She'll help you transform it. You have a really sincere wish to do it, she will show up, and she's all about action. She's all about swift activity. All accomplishing wisdom is her main energy. Okay, so you try that, but you got to go into your Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. Yeah, you picture Jetsuma sitting on your shoulder, listening every time you're going to say something, and you imagine you're going to say that in her presence. I promise you clean up that speech right quick. Anybody else want to share anything? Thank you. That's very good. Well, we're about up to our time. So thank you, everybody, for practicing together. I think we have a few more minutes, but we're going to just dedicate our merits, because dedicating our merits is so powerful and wonderful, not only for our own practice to flourish, which it will grow, but we pray that it will bring benefit to all beings, especially those who have no idea of the wonders of sacred practice and how important it is to cultivate our inner qualities. I'm going to say this one especially for Dilys, and you can watch it. It's going to be recorded. So if you need to capture it, Dilys, you can hear it again. It's one that just came up as a dedication prayer. May my tongue have the power of the ones gone to bliss. By the power manifesting from these words, may all sentient beings be subdued. May all suffering be immediately pacified. Whatever words I say, may these be accomplished. Inspired by wisdom and compassion today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed. May they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified. May all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. May auspiciousness and perfectness pervade this place now. With the determination to achieve the highest aim, for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I've discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly, abuse, slant, scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard that one still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, free of clinging, be released from bondage. From the 2 collections, vast as space, that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose mind's wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Bodhi mind, precious and sublime, may it arise where it has not arisen, and where it has arisen, may it flourish and grow forevermore. Just as Manjushri and Samantabhadra dedicated all their practice and merits, I too dedicate all merits in whatever way is judged to be the best in order to attain the supreme qualities as quickly as possible for the benefit of the Dharma and the benefit of all mother beings. Gangriwa we korwe shinkan dear pendang dewa malu chungwene chenrezi wan tenzin getsoi shapesi te bardu ten gyorchi. In particular, I pray for the one who knows all the scriptures through the power of his intelligence to have a long life through the power and strength of his mind and his mastery of life, in order to benefit the teachings and all beings through his good, wholehearted resolve. May the Holy Lady Jetsuma Tenzin Palmo's highest noble aspirations swiftly manifest for her own benefit, the benefit of the Dharma, and the benefit of all mother sentient beings. May we all attain Buddhahood for the benefit of every sentient being. Migme se we ter chen chen rezi, di me ken pe wang po jam pel yang, du pung ma lu jom se sang we dang. Gang chen ke pe su gian song ka pa, lob sang drag pe shabla so wa de. And if you know anybody who's sick or who's recently passed away and you want to dedicate your own practice and the merits of your practice to that being, you can call them to mind and make that dedication now. Okay, thank you everybody for joining, and we hope that you have had a wonderful time in this practice and have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are, or evening, and we'll see you again soon. We're going to practice on May 26th on Sakadawa, so feel free to join us then, and the information is on Tashi Getseling website and will be on the Facebook page, and feel free to share it outward with your friends. But whoever's there, we're very happy to practice together. Thank you, Nadim, for joining. Do you want to unmute and say hello, Nadim? Are you in India somewhere? It seems like it, maybe. Anyway, he sent the chat, so he's sending his greetings and thanks. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, and hope that you're feeling better, Doreen. We'll keep you in our prayers.
Yeah, I am feeling better.
Medicine Buddha on the 26th as well as part of our Sakadawa. So our Medicine Buddha, will especially also dedicate. So keep feeling better.
Okay.
And good luck with the potty mouth. Looking forward. Thanks, Nadim. Nice that you joined with us. We'll see you again. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.